Hey, Warriors fans, buckle up because there's a lot happening that could completely reshape the way Golden State approaches the upcoming season. First off, the NBA has introduced a rule tweak that might seem subtle at first glance, but in reality, it's a game changer, especially for someone like Stephen Curry. Essentially, any contact made with a player's guide hand during a shot is now officially considered a foul. In previous years, that was just part of the natural rhythm of the game. A little brush of the hand, nothing that would stop play or send anyone to the line. But now, the moment a defender grazes that shooting hand, the game can halt. Free throws are awarded, and if the fouls pile up, key defensive players could find themselves disqualified from the match entirely. Think about what this means in practical terms for the Warriors. Curry, known for having one of the fastest releases in the entire league, can now leverage this rule in ways that weren't possible before. He barely needs time to get the shot off, and defenders who are used to swiping at the ball instinctively could now be penalized for what was once considered incidental contact. When you watch him play, you realize just how instantaneous his motions are. The ball is in his hands for a fraction of a second, he elevates, and it's already on its way. Before, defenders might have managed to alter his rhythm without consequence. But now every attempt to block Curry risks putting the other team in foul trouble, and that could completely shift the dynamic of a game. What's even more fascinating is the potential for strategic manipulation. Teams like the Warriors can plan around this rule in ways that extend beyond Curry himself. Imagine a scenario where a player assigned to guard him accumulates fouls early in the game. If that defender happens to be a major contributor on the opposition, Golden State suddenly gains a massive advantage. You could see them intentionally creating matchups to exploit this new regulation, drawing fouls and freeing up Curry to score at will. Over the course of a game, this could translate into an unprecedented number of free throw attempts, potentially 15 to 20 for a player who already dominates scoring. And these aren't manufactured fouls or instances of selling contact. Curry is still playing his game, shooting naturally, and the rules are simply now in his favor. The sheer speed and precision of his release mean that defenders are almost forced into these situations without even realizing it. This development also has the potential to shift historical benchmarks. Players averaging over 35 points per game in a season are rare, and the last instance we saw that consistently was a few years back with someone like James Harden. But Curry, with these new opportunities to get to the line and capitalize on fouls, could edge closer to surpassing those thresholds again. It's not just about accumulating points, it's about controlling the flow of the game. Each foul drawn, each key player sidelined temporarily, opens the door for the Warriors to extend leads in ways that weren't possible under previous rules. We're talking about incremental advantages that compound quickly, turning a 2 or 3 point lead into double digits in a matter of minutes. Beyond Curry, the Warriors are also showcasing exciting potential from their newer roster additions. Take a player like Will Richardson, for instance. Drafted later, he might not have carried a lot of spotlight during the selection process, but his performance in the preseason has been impressive, especially in terms of his defensive intensity. What stands out about Richardson is his mindset. He plays with grit and determination, contributing in ways that go beyond scoring. On the court, he's a disruptor, chasing down loose balls, contesting shots, and providing that backbone for the second unit. His energy translates directly into momentum. And in preseason matchups, we've already seen him help swing games back for what looked like impossible deficits. One game, in particular, saw the Warriors down by 21 points with less than 8 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Many fans might have thought the game was effectively over, but with contributions from Richardson, Quentin Post, and a few others, the team orchestrated a comeback that ended in victory. That kind of effort reflects not only skill, but also an ability to respond to pressure, a trait that could prove invaluable over the long regular season. It's not just about 1 or 2 standout moments either. The combination of seasoned stars and these rising talents creates a dynamic environment where strategy, execution, and rule awareness intersect. For instance, while Curry's new advantage draws the bulk of attention, players like Richardson can affect possession battles, defensive matchups, and even the pace of the game in ways that amplify the Warriors' overall performance. This isn't just an isolated tactical benefit. It's a ripple effect that strengthens every layer of the roster. And as the preseason progresses, these early experiments with rotations and strategies could solidify into approaches that define the team's identity for the entire season. Looking ahead, matchups against rival teams like the Lakers will be pivotal. Preseason games might not count for the standings, but the mentality built in these contests is crucial. Establishing a winning mindset, experimenting with lineups, and leveraging rule advantages all contribute to a team's confidence heading into the regular season. Golden State is in a position where every win, every small strategic adjustment, and every display of depth from players like Richardson can accumulate into a foundation for success. If they continue executing at this level, there's a realistic chance that they could start the season strong, potentially emulating the kind of momentum we've seen from other hot start teams in the past. Curry's influence, amplified by the new rule, combined with the defensive intensity of emerging players and a strategic foresight of the coaching staff, could make the Warriors a team that isn't just playing games. They're dictating how games unfold. Whether it's drawing fouls, exploiting mismatches, or maximizing the output from both veterans and rookies, Golden State seems poised to translate these advantages into tangible results. The preseason is proving to be a laboratory of sorts, and early indicators suggest that the Warriors are not only experimenting, but learning how to execute with precision under evolving circumstances. Even on the bench, players like Richardson are already demonstrating the kind of mentality that the Warriors prize: hard work, adaptability, and the ability to impact the game beyond the stat sheet. It's a combination that complements Curry's scoring, strengthens the defensive effort, and provides flexibility for the coaching staff. With this mindset permeating the team, Golden State could approach the regular season with a cohesion and confidence that is difficult for other teams to match, particularly when the new rules create unique scoring opportunities that didn't exist before. Now, looking deeper into how the Warriors are shaping up this preseason, it's impossible to ignore the ripple effects of blending veteran experience with youthful energy. Players like Draymond Green and Klay Thompson bring stability, court vision, and championship experience that younger players can feed off of, while newcomers like Will Richardson inject intensity, unpredictability, and fresh athleticism that opponents struggle to anticipate. The combination is giving Golden State a level of depth that could be crucial when the regular season heats up and rotations tighten. We've already seen glimpses of how this mix can influence games. Richardson's defensive hustle and willingness to take on challenging assignments frees up veterans to focus on high-efficiency offensive opportunities. And at the same time, Curry's rapid scoring ability forces opponents to rethink their defensive strategies entirely. What's remarkable is that the new foul rule doesn't just benefit Curry. It indirectly shapes the decisions of the entire team. Defenders have to think twice before going aggressively at his shots, which means spacing opens up for others, whether it's driving lanes for Green, catch-and-shoot chances for Thompson, or cutting opportunities for Kuminga. Every defensive adjustment by the opposition creates cascading advantages for Golden State, and the Warriors are uniquely positioned to exploit them. It's a chess game, but with one of the fastest pieces on the board being virtually untouchable in key situations. This allows the coaching staff to experiment with lineups that are aggressive, dynamic, and unpredictable, ensuring that opponents can't settle into any rhythm. The preseason victories, though sometimes underestimated, are setting the tone for this kind of experimentation. In one recent matchup, the Warriors were down by a significant margin late in the game, and many would have counted them out. But with a combination of veteran leadership, bench energy, and sheer resilience, they mounted a comeback that not only demonstrated skill, but also mental toughness. Quentin Post was delivering efficient scoring. Richardson was contesting every shot and grabbing rebounds. And even players with limited experience in high-stakes situations contributed to momentum swings. Moments like these, while in the preseason, are invaluable because they simulate the kind of adversity teams face during the regular season and playoffs. The ability to maintain composure, capitalize on small advantages, and execute under pressure is what separates contenders from teams that fade when stakes are higher. Golden State's approach to these games also reveals a long-term mindset. They aren't just looking for immediate wins. They're observing how players respond to pressure, how rotations affect defensive and offensive efficiency, and how they can use the rules and matchups to their advantage. For example, Richardson's presence on the floor isn't solely about stats. It's about creating a culture of intensity. His energy makes it easier for the team to sustain high tempo, and it also sends a message to opponents that the Warriors aren't just relying on stars. They have a collective depth capable of altering the course of a game. These are subtle elements, but over the course of a season, the accumulation of such advantages can be decisive. Another aspect worth noting is how Golden State is leveraging strategic spacing in conjunction with a new rule for fouls on Curry. By placing shooters like Thompson or Post on the perimeter, they force opposing big men to make tough choices. Stay near the paint and risk leaving shooters open, or challenge Curry and risk fouls that could alter the player's availability. Over a full game, and especially over a season, these small decisions snowball. A key defender in foul trouble for 2 consecutive games can disrupt an entire rotation, leading to mismatches, open lanes, and easier scoring opportunities. This isn't theoretical. It's already visible in preseason play. Curry's ability to get off quick shots, combined with the threat of fouls, is making opponents overthink, hesitating just enough to allow Golden State to dominate possession and scoring efficiency. Off the bench, the Warriors are cultivating a mindset that could pay enormous dividends. Players who might not see significant minutes in the early regular season are gaining experience, confidence, and a sense of responsibility during these games. The ability of someone like Richardson to step in, guard multiple positions, and contribute offensively in limited minutes demonstrates not only talent but adaptability. These qualities will be critical once the regular season begins in earnest, particularly against teams that have championship experience or strong rotations of their own. When matchups tighten, the ability to rotate players who can defend multiple positions, capitalize on spacing, and stay disciplined under new rules becomes a tactical edge that few teams can replicate. Golden State's preseason isn't just shaping individual player development. It's refining the team's overall strategy. The coaching staff is experimenting with rotations, testing how different combinations respond to pressure, and evaluating which lineups maximize scoring while minimizing defensive vulnerabilities. Early indications suggest that integrating the new foul rules into these strategies is paying dividends. By intentionally placing Curry in positions where defenders are likely to commit fouls, while simultaneously empowering the bench to maintain energy and defensive intensity, the Warriors are creating a system that amplifies their strengths while exploiting opponents' weaknesses. The synergy between veterans, rising stars, and tactical awareness is starting to create a competitive blueprint that could sustain them throughout the season. Before we continue, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any exclusive Dubs updates. Let's keep going. The NBA world is buzzing with one of the most tantalizing rumors of the season. Could the Golden State Warriors be plotting a blockbuster double signing? Sources whisper that the Warriors, always on the hunt for championship glory, are eyeing none other than Kevin Durant and Bam Adebayo to transform their roster into an almost unstoppable juggernaut. Imagine the sight. Durant, a lethal scorer with a silky mid-range game and long-range precision, paired with Adebayo, a defensive powerhouse and versatile interior presence. The thought alone has fans already speculating about a seismic shift in the Western Conference hierarchy. Golden State has long been a destination for elite talent, thanks to its winning culture, storied coaching staff, and the chance to chase multiple titles alongside Stephen Curry. Durant's potential return to the Bay Area, where he won 2 championships and a Finals MVP, would be nothing short of sensational, reigniting memories of the Warriors' dynasty years. Meanwhile, Adebayo, who has steadily grown into one of the league's most complete big men, could provide the physicality and rim protection the Warriors have sometimes lacked, complementing Curry and Draymond Green's perimeter dynamism. Speculation is already rife about how the Warriors could fit both stars into their salary structure, with whispers of trades, buyouts, or clever cap maneuvers. Could they dare to restructure the roster around Durant's scoring brilliance and Adebayo's defensive prowess? The mere possibility has ignited social media debates, with fans dissecting potential lineups, defensive schemes, and how this duo might gel with the current core. Analysts are calling it dream team potential, though skeptics caution that star-heavy rosters can face chemistry challenges. Still, the buzz is undeniable. Imagine the Bay Arena erupting as Durant pulls up from deep while Adebayo dominates the paint. Every possession a spectacle, every game a must-watch. Whether the deal materializes or remains a tantalizing what-if, the rumor alone has reignited championship dreams in San Francisco and beyond. As whispers turn into headlines, one thing is clear. The Warriors' name is back in the conversation for seismic offseason moves, and the NBA universe is watching with bated breath. Stay updated exclusively with the latest Dub Nation news. Subscribe to our channel and hit the like button to keep getting daily updates on the Warriors. Don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Your input is essential for the Dubs community. Stay tuned for the next video.